John Sweeney there. Let's return to the comings and goings at the Home Office. One of the interesting things about the last 2 weeks is how it somehow conflicts with the usual story on immigration, that the public don't like it. The hostile environment policy was apparently designed to appease public hostility to immigration, but seeing it in action and seeing it catch long-term residents and citizens at that, the public don't seem happy with it at all. Does this mean there'll now be a rethink of immigration policy? Well, I'm joined by Sundar Katwala, Director of British Future. I've been doing a lot of work with focus groups and on immigration, and Ella Whelan, an author and columnist at Spiked. Evening to you both. You wrote a kind of letter to the new Home Secretary today, Sundar, and you said it's time for a reset. What did you mean by that?
Well, I think it should be a reset moment for immigration. We had a reset moment 20 months ago, actually, with the referendum vote as a wake-up call, and then the Windrush scandal, I think, again, makes people think about it. But the thing about a reset moment is somebody has to press the button. And that's the government has been delaying and ducking in a way because it's a complicated issue. What will we do after Brexit? They've actually been running away, I think, from fear of, oh, it's very difficult and the public will be very angry when we make them make choices. Lack of confidence, actually, in engaging the public in the conversation. What should we do
and you've
now?
been having some conversations. We'll come back to that. But Ella, do you think politicians have got public opinion wrong? I think probably Theresa May has felt all along she is serving what the public want.
No, I think they have got it wrong. I think it's very clear that they've got it wrong. I mean, the whole approach to immigration for years now has been a kind of tick-box technocratic attitude with no kind of consultation or political thought in there of what actually is it that population want. Some fascinating figures came out about the fact that a massive number of over 65s were appalled by the Windrush scandal, which completely flies in the face of this myth that, you know, old Brexiteers are racist. The political class seems to think that the British voters are hostile to immigration, racist, want some crazy kind of clampdown in something like Windrush. We've just been proven that it's absolutely wrong. So a reset is understating it. I think
and what have you found then? You've been around the country. How many? You had what? You've had masses.
We've held 60 citizens panels everywhere from, you know, Penzance and the Shetlands to everywhere in between. And, you know, you get different conversations in different parts of the country. But everywhere, most people are balancers. They do think there are pressures on public services. They do think there are gains on the economy. They do want more control, and they think the government hasn't had a grip.
So they don't want free movement.
And then they want decency and compassion as well. Often it's the toughest people who are angriest about the treatment of the Windrush group, but especially on illegal immigration specifically, people have a very narrow category: clandestine entry, people clinging to the backs of lorries, and they're very worried about that. You give them, as we do, real cases of real people trapped in the system, and then they apply values of, we want rules, actually we want decency, we want humanity. Does this person have roots here? So the public not as tough at all as some politicians and some journalists have thought.
We've got some very clear messages from the public. The Brexit vote showed that people want an end to freedom of movement. They want a big public conversation about immigration, something that doesn't just slander people as bigoted or racist the minute they use the I word, but actually takes on the conversation properly. We've also seen that there's, you know, the Home Office has to very quickly and very clearly make compensation to anyone who has been
who's been badly treated, maltreated.
Who's had a horrendous time at the hands of this. But really, I think the key thing is that the political class just does not know what we want as voters, or is not listening, and we need to take it. We were saying this at the Brexit vote. I'm sure you were saying as well that we need to have a conversation about immigration that is no holds barred, lets people say what they think.
OK, well, that's what Sundar's doing. I mean, let's go to some specifics then. The target, tens of thousands, dismissed by most members of the Cabinet. I mean, are you in favour of that one?
No, I think that I'm very much for a very open and liberal immigration system. I think that lots of Brexiteers are,
but if you're acting as an agent as the public as well, so it's not just your personal view, but sort of you're trying to work with where the public is as well. Do you think a target helps, or does it undermine immigration policy by constantly not being met?
Well, that's the thing. It has constantly not been met, and there's kind of like numbers in the sky. What we need to have is a sort of system that says, what is it that we can handle, what is it that we want, and I think it should be as fair and open as possible. But at the same time as The thing is to put weight at the idea of being a citizen, of being part of a nation state, of not just being a number, but actually being part of something which I think gets lost in this technocratic kind of babble.
I think people would have some targets. They wouldn't have a one-size-fits-all target, and they wouldn't set a number that you can never meet. So once they've decided to do it, because what you end up with now is you end up with turning down NHS trusts who've got doctors they desperately need to do it, and you're saying, sorry, it's over the target.
Right, and the public probably don't really mind.
They think that's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Doctors, also care homes, lower down the skills scale. So people want to know why people are coming, as well as how many. But the public will be very open to skilled migration. I think they do want an ability to control the pace of low and semi-skilled immigration. You strike that balance, you'd be in the right place with the public.
Where are you on post-Brexit then?
So I think an open system, we've got to put something on the table in the negotiations.
Because it looks like they're talking about some sort of labour mobility partnership with the...
So if you want a special partnership, then make an offer and say, we're very happy for skilled European immigration. We can have special rules for Europeans if there's a deal to be made. We'd like controls on low and semi-skilled, but Europeans can take those jobs first. We don't know what the Europeans will do, but that would strike the right balances across the referendum, across parties for the British public. You've then got to see if you can negotiate a deal that's good for Britain.
OK, I'm sorry, we have to leave it there. Thanks both very much indeed.